Welcome to NFL Imperialism. You may have seen this concept floating around YouTube, but I wanted to put my own spin on it by going through every season in the Super Bowl era and hopefully improving upon it. We simply spin a wheel with all the teams' names on it, then spin an arrow to see what direction they will take from their place on the map. Landing on another team's territory will give us that game. For a more thorough breakdown of how imperialism works, be sure to check out the beginning of our initial video of the 1966 season. That is linked down in the description below. Beneath that is a link to the imperialism playlist consisting of all completed imperialism seasons to date. Otherwise, we are ready to start. We're now heading into the 2014 season where after a decade away from the top of the mountain, the New England Patriots returned. But it wasn't without a lot of help. When you have a bruising running back and a mobile quarterback, and you're on the 1 yard line and you have a chance to win the Super Bowl, what play do you call? A quick pass into the teeth of the defense? No, because that's a horrifically stupid play call? Well, that's what happened. And the Patriots can thank Darren Bevel for making the call and Russell Wilson for making the terrible throw. They are, respectively, the offensive coordinator and the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, the team that handed the Super Bowl over to the Patriots. Credit, though, to undrafted rookie free agent Malcolm Butler for ultimately making the play and getting the interception. Yet another lowly prospect nobody wanted that Bill Belichick made into a star. There are a lot of those. These are the two best teams in the league, though, as seen in our rankings. By virtue of the win in the Super Bowl, though, the Patriots take the top spot with the Seahawks at number 2. They're followed by some regulars, the Broncos and the Packers, as well as the Cowboys, making their first top 5 appearance since 2007 and only their second since their last Super Bowl win in 1995. These teams in the bottom 5 are going to have a tough time, but we did see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers make it to the Imperialism title game just last season, so anything can happen. It's time to get this on the field. Imperialism 2014 begins right now. We're going to get things started with a photo finish. The wheel will land on the Texans. They'll head to the northeast. There was a small chance they could have slipped into Arkansas, but they will hit the territory of the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to get the Battle of Texas in Dallas, and the Houston Texans will be in the uniforms of the Buffalo Bills. Houston's clinging to a 1-point lead with under a minute left in the first half. They're at their own 46, but off the play action, this deep pass goes to DeAndre Hopkins. All alone, catches the pass in stride and rolls into the end zone for the touchdown. A bad collapse by the Cowboys defense there. That makes this 21-13. Dallas threatens some in the third quarter, but Houston pulls away and wins this one 31-20. So much for being a top 5 team after all. The Cowboys are done in the first game at home. The Houston Texans take over the state of Texas, knocking the Cowboys out of the game. We're getting right back to it. The wheel's going to find its way to the Eagles, and they're going to head over to the west. So we had the Battle of Texas. Now we're getting the Battle of Pennsylvania. The Steelers welcome the Eagles. Pittsburgh has the ball leading 7-0. Le'Veon Bell will take the ball up the middle, makes a cut, and he's taking off by himself. Philly's going to give him chase. He's past the 20. He spins away from a tackle. They finally will get him down at the 2 yard line. A 60-yard run. A couple of plays later, Roethlisberger will take it up the middle himself for the score. Pittsburgh extends out to a 14-0 lead. They put the clamps down on this game pretty well, and they beat the Eagles 24-10. Another imperialism season, another win for the Steelers. They will take over the territory of the Eagles, and Pennsylvania is all their own. We're going to head right back to the field. The wheel's going to land on the St. Louis Rams. They're going to head slightly southeast, but not southeast enough to avoid the territory of the Chicago Bears. Chicago leads 7-3 in the second quarter. They're at the Ram 26. Jay Cutler's going to look downfield for Alshon Jeffrey. Makes the catch. Martellus Bennett's running beside him. Gets him a good block that lets him get into the end zone for the touchdown. Chicago extends out to a 14-3 lead. It's now 17-10 in the third quarter. The Rams are forced to punt here. Johnny Hecker gets off a nice punt. Santonio Holmes is back to receive. He is met by the Rams, and that ball is out. St. Louis is going to pick it up. This is offensive lineman Joe Barksdale. We love the big man touchdowns around here. He scoops and scores and gives the Rams some life here. This game is now tied up at 17 apiece. They're going to get the ball back, and they're at Chicago's 42-yard line. Direct snap goes to Trey Mason. He goes right through the middle. He's dragging his way about 15 yards and gets it down to the 14. On the next play, this touchdown pass will go to Kenny Britt with 1 second remaining in the third quarter. The Rams have now taken a 24-17 lead. The Bears respond by giving Matt Forte the ball a lot. He's getting off some nice runs, 10 to 15 yards on each of these. He gets this one down to the 2-yard line, and then he will score the touchdown. Forte doing the heavy lifting for the Chicago offense, tying this game up at 24 apiece. Here come the Rams, though. They're at their own 37-yard line. The pitch goes to Tavon Austin. The receiver lines up in the backfield and picks up some nice yards. The Bears give chase and finally get him down inside the 30-yard line. The Rams now have it 3rd and 12, just outside the 30. Austin Davis is going to try a risky pass. Woo! Already in field goal range. That could have gone bad. Greg Zuerlein, Legatron himself, coming out for the 48-yard kick. It's up. It's good, giving the Rams the lead at 27-24. Time is limited for Chicago. They're at their own 25-yard line. Jay Cutler is going to throw this over the outstretched defender. Alshon Jeffrey makes another big play, gets it inside of midfield. They're closing in on field goal range now. 46 seconds left. They're going to give to Forte. Looks like they're going to settle for the field goal. Forte makes a nice run, gets it to about the 27-yard line. With only 16 seconds left on the clock, they will bring Robbie Gould out for the field goal. 45 yards away. He will make this kick, tying this game up at 27, and we're heading now to overtime. The Rams get it first, but they've quickly fallen behind a 3rd and 18. Off the play action, the dump-off pass will go to Austin. It's a race to the sticks. Can he get there? They're bringing out the measurement, and he has the first down. The Rams are now inside midfield on 3rd and 10. Another big conversion, perhaps. The pass to Austin goes out of bounds. And on 4th down, the Rams are going to punt this away. They must have a lot of faith in their defense to get this ball back. Johnny Hecker's had a great game. He gets this one off. Nope, it's not blocked. Santonio Holmes not had a good game. Gets it at the goal line. Tries to run it out, and he stopped at the 2. What was he thinking? On the first play, Chicago's in trouble. Robert Quinn dives out and gets Alshon Jeffrey down in the end zone for the safety. A big game for Quinn, and for the first time in Imperialism history, a game is won by a safety in overtime. The Rams win 29-27. And speaking of firsts, this is the Rams' first Imperialism victory since 2006. They're certain to enjoy that one. They will take over the Bears' territory, and for the first time in 8 seasons, move on in the game. We're getting our first game on the West Coast. The Arizona Cardinals go to San Diego to play the Chargers. The Cardinals trailed 3-0 backed up in their own territory in the first quarter. The pitch goes out to Andre Ellington. Cavell Connor will force the ball loose. Eric Weddle scoops it up for the Chargers and waltzes his way into the end zone for the touchdown. The Chargers jump out to a 10-0 lead. We're still in the first quarter. The second quarter has been kinder to the Cardinals. They've driven it down to the 3-yard line. They're in the shotgun. Direct snap goes to Ellington, making some amends for that fumble. Runs it in for the score. The Cardinals will cut the lead down to 10-7. That's going to be our score in the second half. The Chargers have it at the Cardinal 43, looking to get something going here. Brandon Oliver gets the handoff. He's going to be just short of the first down. The Chargers are going to bring Nick Novak out on 4th and inches to try this field goal. It's going to be 56 yards. He certainly has the leg for it. Arizona gets no rush on the ball. He puts it up and through. So the Chargers have yet to get into the end zone offensively in this game, but they lead 13-7. Arizona looking to get things going again. Drew Stanton drops back to pass, looks for Larry Fitzgerald, and that is a picture-perfect throw. Fitzgerald is able to take it down to the 20-yard line, setting the Cardinals up for a potential score. On the very next play, Drew Stanton's feeling it, drops back. He's going to look for his tight end. John Carlson climbs the ladder, makes the catch, scoring the touchdown. The Cardinals are going to take the lead here at 14-13. The Chargers are now in the fourth quarter, 3.5 minutes to go. They're all the way back at their own 24. Phillip Rivers looks for his tight end. Antonio Gates makes the diving catch, gets up, and is able to pick up lots more yards. The Cardinals are finally able to bring him down inside the 20. A 57-yard gain. It's now 3rd and 11. Phillip Rivers steps up in the pocket, looks for Eddie Royal, overthrown, almost intercepted. So Novak's going to come out for his third field goal attempt. Calais Campbell will break through the line and block the kick. The Cardinals scoop it up. They're able to run out the clock, and they've gone into San Diego and won this game 14-13. Our last game was a 2-point affair, this one a 1-point affair, and in both instances, the attacking team won. The Cardinals will take over the Chargers' territory, and this is the earliest the Chargers have been out of the game since 2000. We're keeping expansions to a minimum here. The wheel will land on the Saints. The only choice they had if they didn't expand was to go to Houston, and that's what they're going to do to play the Texans. The Saints already lead by 10 in the third quarter. They're at the Texan 5-yard line. The touchdown pass here is going to go to Marcus Colston. The Saints have taken control of this game at 24-7. It became 27-7 when the Texans started piling on some points to no avail. The Saints win it 27-21. Indeed, that game was certainly not as close as it wound up looking in the end. The Saints will take over the Texans' territory. We've played 5 games this season, and we've had 5 separate winners. We're ready for our next game. The wheel's going to land on the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to head to the southeast. That arrow needed to be further north to avoid the 49er territory, but that's not what happened. The Seahawks will go to San Francisco to play their eternal rivals. We're scoreless in the first quarter. Seattle's moving the ball. They're at midfield. The pass rush comes to Russell Wilson. Justin Smith will get the strip sack. The 49ers scoop it up at around the 35-yard line. The Seahawks give chase and get him down at the 8-yard line. That leads to this touchdown pass to Michael Crabtree, extending out, diving in the end zone to make that catch. It's 7-0, and that's about all there was to look at this game. The 49ers led 21-0 before Seattle avoided the shutout. Our final is 21-7. That wasn't Russell Wilson's only fumble in this game. He lost 2 more, and he threw an interception. Tough to win under those conditions. The 49ers, even though they were at home, they pulled the upset. They eliminate the Seahawks, they take over their territory, and we're 6 games in, and we've lost 2 top 5 teams, including the NFC champion Seahawks. The Rams are ready to get back on the field. They'll be welcoming their in-state rival, the Kansas City Chiefs. Nearing the goal line, the Chiefs lead 10-7. This handoff up the middle goes to Niall Davis, running it in for the score. Davis in for the injured Jamal Charles. He gives the Chiefs a 17-7 lead, an overall stellar defensive performance by Kansas City. They win this one 20-7. The Rams did okay for themselves getting a single victory, but that's all they're going to get. The Chiefs will take over their territory, moving deeper now into the Midwest. We're starting to get some expansions now, but that run comes to a halt here. The Baltimore Ravens are going to go face their rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Baltimore will have to be playing in the uniforms of the Green Bay Packers. Tied at 7, the Steelers are on the edge of the goal line. The Ravens change their defense. Pittsburgh calls an audible. They're going to be throwing. The rush comes, but Roethlisberger finds his hot read in tight end Heath Miller. That's going to give the Steelers a 14-7 lead. They take that lead into the second half where they rip this game wide open, scoring 28 unanswered points and winning 42-7. Certainly, it's never good to lose by such a wide margin, but doing so to your rival hurts even more. The Steelers will take over the Ravens' territory, and they become the first team to win twice this season. With a quarter of all teams now eliminated, we're getting back on the field. The Packers are going to head to the north. They're going to catch the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, which of course is territory of the Detroit Lions. This NFC North battle begins now. Detroit's built up a solid lead of 21-10. We're in the fourth quarter. They're looking for more. This deep pass goes to Golden Tate. He is all by his lonesome. He's going to get in for the 58-yard touchdown pass. The Lions trailed this game 10-7 at halftime, but the second half was theirs. They get away with a 28-18 victory. The Lions were a playoff team in 2014 and kind of famously got screwed over against the Dallas Cowboys in the wild card round. Nothing like that in this one though. They take over the Packers' territory. We've now had 3 top 5 teams be eliminated. Moreover, top 5 teams are 0-3 this season. Only the Broncos and the Patriots remain. We're about to get a photo finish here. The wheel will land on the Panthers. They're going to head to the west, and as we can see here, they're just going to miss the Georgia border and instead ride into Tennessee to play the Titans. Carolina jumped out to a 21-0 first quarter lead. Here from the 1-yard line, Cam Newton does a hurdle and a leap into the end zone, looking like he's auditioning for the Olympics here. Carolina now leads 28-0. They take that lead into the second half where they expand upon it just a little bit more, winning this game 38-0. The Falcons are only 6-10, but the Panthers did much better going to play Tennessee, who was terrible this season and is our bottom-ranked team. The Panthers will take over their territory, giving them a fairly unique piece of land. Well, maybe we spoke too soon. The wheel is going to land on the Panthers again, and they're heading south, so after avoiding the Falcons, they've got to play them now in Atlanta. Welcome to the Julio Jones Show. He was about the only one who did anything in this game. Here he is catching a very deep pass, getting tackled at the 1-yard line. Makes a diving catch here. Makes another deep catch past the defender, picking up a lot of extra yards. He was doing it all, and finally in the third quarter, he gets his touchdown on a reverse. All this did lead to an Atlanta 17-0 lead. Carolina couldn't get anything going until the fourth quarter. By then it was too late. The Falcons win this game 38-16. Even though the Panthers were just 7-8-1 this season, they did win the NFC South. That means we have now lost every single NFC division champion. The Falcons will take over their territory, and discounting Florida for the moment, they own the Southeast. Our next elimination will leave us with just 20 teams. Might it be the Buffalo Bills? They're heading to Pittsburgh, and trying to beat the Steelers is going to be tough. Let's see this game. Pittsburgh looking for a hot start. They've immediately moved the ball to Buffalo's 43-yard line. A deep pass to Antonio Brown will always help things. He catches it in stride and strolls into the end zone for the game's opening touchdown. Pittsburgh will get up 7-0. They got a little stagnant until the second quarter, and Mount Buffalo's moving the ball. They're at Pittsburgh's 41-yard line. Out of the shotgun, Kyle Orton is looking downfield for Robert Woods. Big strong man makes the catch near the 10-yard line. That's going to set up this touchdown run by Fred Jackson. 2:17 left in the half. Buffalo has now tied this game up at 7 apiece. But there is still time left in the half, and Pittsburgh quickly races down to the Buffalo 6-yard line. Roethlisberger's play action to Le'Veon Bell, throws to Le'Veon Bell, touchdown Pittsburgh. Just like that, they take the lead 14-7. That lead is going to carry into the second half, where Buffalo is going to once again look to tie. They've taken it to the 30-yard line on 3rd and 17, playing it safe with the pitch to Fred Jackson, but Jackson has other ideas. He gets the first down, and he's able to just break the plane for the score. It looked like Buffalo was happy to just settle for the field goal, but they get the touchdown instead, and they've retied this game up at 14. Here comes Pittsburgh on a 3rd and 3 from the Buffalo 44-yard line. Roethlisberger goes to Martavis Bryant, makes the catch, gets it down to the 15-yard line. That in turn will lead to this touchdown pass once again to Antonio Brown. Roethlisberger's 3rd and Brown's 2nd. Pittsburgh retakes the lead at 21-14. They get the ball back again, but Ben Roethlisberger is stuck in the pocket, gets taken down by Kyle Williams for the sack. But in probably worse news, Roethlisberger has been knocked out of this game. His backup is Bruce Gradkowski. They're punting on this play. We'll see how it goes if they get it back. Buffalo now is feeding Fred Jackson again. He gets off a nice run here. He goes in the other direction, cutting through Steeler defenders, dragging others, gets it down to the 6-yard line, and then will take it in for the score. The stubborn Buffalo Bills will not go away. Fred Jackson scores again, and we're tied up at 21. With Gradkowski in the game, the Steelers are looking to lean on Le'Veon Bell. Not a bad guy to lean on. On 3rd and 6, he's going to pick up this first down with a gritty run down to the 40-yard line. But now he, too, has been knocked out of this game. He's got a better backup in LeGarrette Blount, so we'll see how that goes. This drive will continue, though. From the 35, it's 3rd and 6. Buffalo will back the defense up. Pittsburgh makes a change at the line, and they're going to go ahead and give it to Blount, and he is going to fight for the first down and get it in a lot more. He's cutting back outside, gets it inside the 5-yard line, down to the 3. But Pittsburgh gets knocked back greatly. This is still only a 35-yard attempt. 39 seconds left to go. For the win, Sean Sweesom puts it up, and it's no good. And Pittsburgh's calamities lead this game into a 21-21 overtime. The Bills got the ball first but did nothing with it. Now the Steelers have it. Gradkowski off the play action goes to Marcus Wheaton. What a throw! What a catch! Wheaton's going to break down to inside the 1-yard line. And with only a minute 20 left, Pittsburgh's going to bring out Sean Sweesom for the chip shot field goal. Now in this game, these very short field goals can be tricky. From 18 yards away, Sweesom's kick is no good, and Buffalo will take over. They have the ball at their own 27-yard line. They're going to give to Fred Jackson. He's going to go through the middle of the defense and pick up a lot of yards, getting past midfield to the 45-yard line. Time is very limited, though. There is now only 20 seconds on the clock. Kyle Orton, play action. He is going to look deep to Robert Woods. This worked before. He'll make the catch, break a tackle, and score with no time left in overtime. Pittsburgh has absolutely collapsed in front of our eyes. Buffalo wins this game on a spectacular ending, 27-21. In the real life NFL, the Minnesota Vikings are by far the most snake-bit franchise. In Imperialism, that title must belong to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Buffalo Bills will take over their territory in what is perhaps the most gut-wrenching loss we have ever seen in Imperialism. Our next spin of the wheel is pretty straightforward. It's going to land on the Dolphins. They're heading to Tampa to face the Buccaneers. It's a defensive struggle here. Miami leads 7-3 in the third quarter. From the Tampa 20, Ryan Tannehill will look for Mike Wallace, making his second touchdown catch of the game. That's going to give Miami a 14-3 lead. The Buccaneer offense really got nothing going in this one. The Dolphins wind up winning it 21-3. The Buccaneers will not be going on any run this season. The Dolphins will take over their territory, but that leaves them in a spot where if the wheel lands on them, there'll only be one place to go. As was foretold, the Dolphins have to go on the road, this time to Jacksonville to face the Jaguars. The Dolphins have a second and goal, already leading 14-0. Lamar Miller takes the handoff up the middle, makes one cut, and is off to the races into the end zone. Miami extends their lead now to 21-0. They're going to tack on another touchdown in the first half before cruising in the second, winning this game 35-10. The state of Florida offered no resistance to the Dolphins this season. They will take over the Jaguars' territory, reclaiming Florida to themselves. But the way the map has shaken out, if they get landed on again, they're only going to have one place to go. We're nearing the halfway point this season. The wheel lands on the Redskins. They're going to head east, hop across Chesapeake Bay to face the Buffalo Bills. The Redskins cling to a 10-6 lead in the fourth quarter. From the 2, they're going to drop back the pass. Pierre Garçon comes across the slant and makes the catch for the touchdown. The Redskins are going to get up 17-6. Buffalo's comeback attempts backfired greatly, and they wound up losing big, 30-6. It would appear as though Buffalo used every last arrow in its quiver to beat the Steelers and had nothing left for this game. The Redskins will take over their territory, and they become the dominant presence now in the Northeast. This next spin is going to be a close call. It's just going to get past the Saints and hit the Lions. They're going to head west and take on their NFC North rivals, the Minnesota Vikings. The Lions come out swinging, more specifically slinging. They're throwing the ball all over the place. Matthew Stafford's going deep. Calvin Johnson goes up, makes the catch, runs it in the rest of the way for the touchdown. We're not out of the first quarter yet, and the Lions have taken a 14-0 lead. They coast in this one, and for the second straight game, we have a final score of 30-6. And also, for the fifth straight game, we have the attacking team getting the win. The Lions will take over the Vikings' territory. We started with 32 teams. We're now down to 16. The Dolphins have cleared their trek through Florida and now will look to take out the entire Southeast. They're heading to Atlanta to face the Falcons. Atlanta may have scored first in this game, but Miami's looking to score more often. Leading 10-7, this deep pass goes to Mike Wallace. He's being pursued, he cuts away. Two guys dive at him fruitlessly, and Wallace will stride into the end zone for the Miami touchdown. That makes it 17-7. They kept pouring it on. Ryan Tannehill with over 400 passing yards in this game. Miami wins 34-21. And with that victory, the Dolphins will take over the Falcons' territory. They're the first team to win 3 games this season, and it's the first time Miami's won that many games since 1993, 21 seasons ago. This spin's got some juice on it, but not quite enough to get to the Jets. It'll stay with the Redskins. They're going to head to the southeast and go to the other part of New Jersey to play the New York Giants. Scoreless in the first quarter, the Giants have it at the Redskin 14-yard line. This is the Imperialism debut of Odell Beckham Jr., and the first time he touches the ball turns into a touchdown. The Giants get out to a 7-0 lead. Odell had himself a great game in this one, so did the rest of his teammates. They give up a late safety and win this game, 24-8. That Giants victory snaps a 6-game winning streak for road teams in this season. They will take over the Redskins' territory, and this piece of land keeps swapping hands. Can the Giants maybe be the team to hold on to it for a little while? We're going to be getting the Oakland Raiders on the field for the first time. They head to Arizona to face the Cardinals. The Cardinals started this drive on their own 3-yard line. They've got all the way down to the 5. Drew Stanton's going to try to squeeze this pass in, but Charles Woodson is still at it, makes the interception in the end zone. That's going to keep this a 3-0 game to the Raiders. Can they take advantage? On second down from the 20-yard line, Derek Carr tries to squeeze in a pass, but linebacker Alex Okafor is there for the interception. He hasn't gone down yet. He breaks free, and he's actually going to run this back for the touchdown, redeeming Arizona's last drive. The Cardinals get on the board 7-3. That gives them the kickstart they needed. They win this game fairly handily, 27-11. We had all of our top 5 teams dropping like flies earlier. Now, all the bottom 5 teams are gone. The Cardinals take over the Raiders' territory, and they now share the West Coast with only the 49ers. Speaking of top 5 teams, we're about to get one on the field now. The Denver Broncos have just been expanding, but that arrow now takes them into the territory of the 49ers. The Broncos started this game slowly, but they're cooking now. They're at the Niner 5-yard line. Peyton Manning fires to the end zone. Demaryius Thomas is there to make the catch. That is his second touchdown of the game. Denver takes a 24-3 lead, and they win this one without a problem, 38-10. This was our 20th game, but it was our first one won by a top 5 team. The Broncos will take over the 49ers territory, and it looks as though they might have the largest piece of land. For the 4th straight game, we're getting a team on the field for the first time. This is going to be the Cleveland Browns heading to the Northwest to take on the red-hot Detroit Lions. Cleveland had trouble holding on to the ball in the first quarter. This is Taylor Gabriel losing the fumble. It's recovered by the Lions, leads to this touchdown pass to Calvin Johnson. Marlon Moore on the ensuing kickoff will lose this fumble. Detroit recovers this one, and then Joique Bell will take the direct snap and run it in after a broken tackle for the touchdown. Early in the first quarter, Detroit leads this game 14-0. That was more than enough. They actually held the Browns to negative rushing yards in this game, and they win it 34-0. A lot of people believe the Lions were completely screwed out of the playoffs in 2014. And a lot of people would be right. Their redemption may be coming here in Imperialism. They will take over the Browns' territory, and they join the Dolphins as the first 2 teams to win 3 times this season. Everybody else has been taking their shots at the Lions, so the Chiefs say, why not us? They're heading to Detroit. This could be a very good game. Instead, the Lions lead 14-0 in the third quarter, driving for more. Stafford has time in the pocket, goes deep to Golden Tate, makes the catch at the 2. He's had an incredible game. On second and goal, this touchdown pass will go to Eric Ebron. The Lions have gotten out to a 21-0 lead. They forced 4 turnovers in this game, and for the second consecutive game, they pitched a shutout, winning this one 31-0. The Lions appear to be on a mission this season. They will take over the Chiefs' territory, and we're down to our final 10 teams. We got 5 expansions from 5 different teams, and now we get a photo finish. This arrow from the New York Giants logo is going to bypass the state of Delaware and hit the territory of the Miami Dolphins. After going on the road 3 times, they now get to be at home. The Giants get the ball first and are moving it toward midfield. Eli Manning drops back to pass, fires it deep. It's intercepted by Louis Delmas. Gets a return out to the 44-yard line. Miami's going to have a chance to strike first. The first play after the interception sees Ryan Tannehill drop back, go deep to Jarvis Landry. He'll make the catch, pick up some extra yards down to the 12-yard line. That's going to set up this handoff to Lamar Miller, who then gives to Mike Wallace on the reverse, getting into the end zone for the touchdown. Miami's defense does the job for him, and the offense takes it home. It's 7-0 Dolphins. The Giants won't be deterred, though. They're set up at their own 32-yard line. Eli Manning is going to go deep to Odell Beckham. He had to stop to make the catch. That gives Miami a chance to catch up to him, and they will get him down at the 9-yard line. Perhaps a better throw is a touchdown, but anyway, this direct snap goes to Rashad Jennings. He maneuvers his way into the end zone anyway. The Giants strike back, tying this game up at 7 apiece. Now Miami has it in their own territory, their own 18-yard line. The handoff is going to go to Lamar Miller, and he's going to be hit by Jameel McClain. Ball is out. The Giants scoop it up and run it back to the 8-yard line. Preston Parker will then catch this touchdown pass. So after the Giants started this game off very poorly, they've gotten out to a 14-7 lead. They now have the ball again set up at the 6-yard line. Manning is going to look to his main man, Odell Beckham. Touchdown, New York. They've taken control of this game at 21-7. Yet there is still time left in this first half. The Dolphins have a chance to do something. From their own 48, Tannehill's going to go to who else but Mike Wallace. Gets the catch, not quite in field goal range, but they move it up some and give Caleb Sturgis a chance at a 41-yard kick. And it's good. Miami's going to hope that leads to some second half momentum, and it looks like it might have. They're at the Giant 25-yard line. Tannehill will drop back, goes to Mike Wallace. He's a one-man wrecking crew in this game, scoring his second touchdown and cutting this lead down to 21-17. After an exchange of punts, the Giants now have it at their own 49. Time ticking away in the third. Eli's going to go to Odell Beckham, and this duel of receivers continues. Beckham makes the catch, 24-yard gain. It's now 3rd and 19 at the 22-yard line. We're in the fourth. Eli's going to throw this swing pass to Rashad Jennings. He's going to race to the sticks but come up short. And the Giants are going to take the safe play here and kick the field goal. It'll go from a 4-point lead to a 7-point lead if Josh Brown can hit this. From 22 yards out, absolutely no problem. The Giants do have a 7-point lead. The Dolphins have it. Time is not their enemy at this point. From their own 36, the pass goes to Mike Wallace. Catches it in stride, picks up a lot of yards after the fact, closing in on the 10-yard line, taken down at the 11. 53 yards on the play. It's now 3rd and goal. Tannehill will look for Wallace, his 3rd touchdown of the game. Maybe they scored too early, 2:39 left on the clock. That's going to tie things up at 24 apiece. Or is it? Miami is going to be going for 2 here. They're probably going to be looking for Mike Wallace. He's done everything for them in this game. They send guys in motion. The handoff goes to Lamar Miller. He's got the edge, but he's taken down inches short. So now the Giants are going to try to kill this game out from their own 32. Eli will throw to Odell, makes the catch on the crosser, gets taken down at the 43-yard line. It's 2nd down. The Dolphins still have a chance to get this ball back. Manning is going to go to Preston Parker. He's going to run out, pick up the first down. The Giants kill some clock, kick a field goal, and win this game 27-23. After the Bills beat the Steelers in overtime, we went 10 straight games that were decided by multiple possessions. In fact, the closest of those games was 13 points. So we were due a close one here. The Giants pull it out. They take over the Dolphins' territory, and we're left with 9 teams. We're going to be getting this down to 8 teams. The wheel's going to land on the Colts, and they're heading into the Giants' territory. So New York's got to get right back on the field. Will the momentum carry them, or will they be too spent? Let's find out. The Giants go nowhere on their opening drive, but the Colts are going somewhere indeed. From the 6-yard line, the pressure comes. Andrew Luck will find Coby Fleener in traffic for the touchdown. So the Colts immediately get out to a 7-0 lead. Their defense got a little leaky on this drive, though. The Giants move it down to the 7-yard line. This is a reverse to Odell Beckham. There's 2 defenders there, but he clowns them both and gets in for the score. So the Giants, ever resilient, tie this game up at 7 apiece. Still time left in the first half. The Colts have it at their own 36-yard line. Andrew Luck out of the 4-receiver set. Looks downfield for T.Y. Hilton, goes up and makes the catch, gets tackled at the 31-yard line. The drive stalls from here. They're going to bring out Adam Vinatieri for a 45-yard field goal. No pressure from the Giants. The kick is up, but it's no good. So the game remains tied at 7. The Colts are able to get it back, though. They're at their 35-yard line. The run game's not working, so they're slinging it. This goes to Coby Fleener into flat. He's able to pick up a lot more yards, gets it down to the 35-yard line, a 29-yard gain. They're going to have to settle for another field goal, though, 43 yards from Vinatieri. Again, no pressure, but this time he puts it up and in. So it's 10-7 at the half. In the second half, the Colts have it again from their own 35-yard line. Luck drops back to pass. He looks deep for Coby Fleener. He's having himself quite a game. Gets this ball inside the 20-yard line, doing some damage. The wrong kind of damage, though. That ball is forced loose. Quentin Demps forces the fumble. The Giants get a good return out of it. So they've not really done much in this game, but they have a chance here. It's 3rd and 12. Eli drops back. Who does he want? He wants Beckham. He gets Beckham downfield to the 25-yard line. They're in excellent shape to tie or take the lead. On 2nd and 1, Rashad Jennings is going to pick up the first down, but he also loses the ball. That's Sergio Brown forcing the fumble, and the Colts are getting a good return out of this as well. Down to the 37, they build a drive on this. They've got 1st and goal at the 9. Luck drops back. T.Y. Hilton in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. So maybe this is the stamp that the Colts want to put on this game. It's 17-7 as we head into the 4th quarter. The Giants are moving the ball, but not with much urgency. But here on 3rd and 1, Eli's going to look deep to Preston Parker. They're giving chase. He's inside the 5, and they get him down at the 3. 2 runs get the ball down to the inch line. The Giants are going to throw. Eli's going to look for Reuben Randall for the touchdown. So with 1 minute, 8 seconds left on the clock, the Giants cut this down to 17-14. It's going to come down to the onside kick. Josh Brown puts it down. The Colts aren't able to get on it. The Giants do. Here we go. They've moved it to the 41-yard line. 56 seconds left. The pitch goes to Jennings. He's going to get the first down and protect that football, getting close to the 30-yard line. We now have 33 seconds remaining. Out of the shotgun. Eli might want the end zone here. He'll settle across the middle to Larry Donnell. Now with 21 seconds left, time's ticking away. The Giants have no timeouts. They're going to go ahead and bring Josh Brown out for the potential game-tying field goal. This from 32 yards away. No pressure from the Colts. This kick is in, and looky here. We have a Giants and Colts game going to overtime, tied at 17. This might look familiar to a lot of old-time football fans. After a good return to start overtime, the Giants are at their own 45-yard line. Manning, no pressure, throws it out to Parker. He has a half step, but that's all he needs. They're at the edge of field goal range, maybe already in field goal range. They're leaving the offense out there, though, out of the shotgun. The quick pass goes to Reuben Randall. That's going to make this a lot more comfortable. They get minimal yardage on first and second down, so they're going to bring Brown out on third down from 37 yards away. He buries it. The Giants complete the improbable comeback and win this game in overtime, 20-17. Some of you might be curious why a Giants and Colts overtime game at 17 apiece is significant. The 1958 NFL Championship game was decided by these two teams in overtime, tied at 17, in what is still referred to as the greatest game ever played. The Colts won that game, the Giants win this one. They will take over the Colts' territory. The Bengals, Jets, and Patriots have yet to see the field. The Bengals and Jets have yet to move from their opening position. Only one quarter of the original 32 teams now remain. And from these 8 teams, the wheel will select the Arizona Cardinals. They're going to head to the southeast, right to the territory of the New Orleans Saints. Arizona was actually 4 games better in the standings than New Orleans this season, but the Saints are going to be at home. Let's see how this plays out. Late in the first half, the Cardinals trail 14-7, but they're on the edge of the goal line. The Saints drop back from their goal line defense. Drew Stanton's going to try to squeeze in this pass, but he can't squeeze it by John Jenkins. That's a reserve defensive lineman making the pick, ending the Cardinals' drive. What a play by Jenkins. In the third quarter, still 14-7. Off the play action, Marcus Colson gets behind the defense. Drew Brees is going to find him for the touchdown. Arizona had a chance to tie this game up. Instead, they find themselves down 14 here. And by the end, the Saints had put 7s across the board and win this game 28-7. All right, let's get this map business out of the way really quickly. The Saints will take over the Cardinals' territory. We're down to 7 teams. 4 of them were playoff teams. That would be the Broncos, the Lions, the Bengals, who haven't played yet, and the defending champion Patriots, who haven't played yet. Then we have 2 teams with losing records that have won this season, the Saints and the Giants, and the lowly 4-12 Jets, who have yet to see the field. This is potentially anybody's game. All right, we're ready for a big one here. The wheel's going to land on the Lions. They're heading west. So Detroit's been on a magical ride this Imperialism. Can that survive a trip to Denver to play the Broncos? It would seem, yes it can. It's 14-0 in the fourth, and the Broncos are facing 4th and 18. The pressure gets to Manning, gets the ball off earlier than he wants to. Welker will make the catch but not get the first down. Detroit looking to take advantage here. It's 3rd and 4. Eric Ebron leaks out of the pattern late. Stafford finds him, he takes the hit and hangs on. And the Lions in the fourth quarter in Denver lead this game 21-0. Denver starting to make some noise now. Very little time on the clock. Looking at 43 seconds. It's 21-7. This pass gets off to Demaryius Thomas. Makes a diving catch in the end zone. Okay. It's 21-13. Denver goes for 2 and misses. So they're going to try an onside kick here. That ball's bouncing around, but it's going to be Ebron who recovers it. And the Lions win this game 21-13. We don't often throw stats up around here, but take a look at this. The Lions, they didn't have a whole lot of offense. They didn't need it. They didn't turn Denver over, but they got to Peyton Manning and took him down for 10 sacks. And Ndamukong Suh got 4. DeAndre Levy and Ashley Palmer each got 2. What a performance by the Lions defense. And what a performance indeed. They will take over the Denver Broncos territory. They might be the favorite to win this, but these teams that are lurking are gonna have something to say about that as well. There shall be no rest for the weary. The wheel finally lands on the Bengals, and they're charging straight into Detroit. The Lions got to get back on the field and defend against the Bengals. Cincinnati starting this game off strong. They're at the Detroit 35-yard line. Dalton actually has time in the pocket, goes deep to A.J. Green, catches it in stride for the touchdown. Detroit gets knocked back early. This is a 7-0 game. Now, you know Detroit has plans of coming back themselves. They're at the 34-yard line of the Bengals. Matthew Stafford, he's going to fire this to Calvin Johnson. He will catch it in stride and score the touchdown. So these teams exchange haymakers in the first quarter. It is 7-7. They're going to be looking to exchange jabs here in the second quarter. Mike Nugent, a 48-yard field goal attempt, is almost blocked. He certainly got a lot of leg, and he's able to put it in. It's 10-7. Cincy now has the ball again, backed up at their own 9-yard line. The Lions break through the line and get Andy Dalton down for the safety. So it's 10-9, and now we're in the third quarter. The Lions are at midfield. They change into a shotgun formation. Now the Bengals are getting sacks. That's Wallace Gilberry's second of the game. But the Bengals offense has stagnated. It's 4th and 2. They're punting in their own territory, but the direct snap goes to Jeremy Hill. He will pick up a first down and a lot more. Maybe that's the spark they need. This deep pass goes to Mohamed Sanu. He's able to get it down to about the 23-yard line. And then this swing pass goes to Jeremy Hill, who started it all. He runs it in for the touchdown. The Bengals needed to give themselves a shot in the arm, and they did. It is now 17-9. They're kicking this ball off. Jeremy Ross runs it back. Terrence Newman will force the fumble, and Ray Malauga will pick it up and run it in for the score. Unbelievable here. Detroit's kind of falling apart in just a few plays. It's 24-9. They need to step this up, though. They're at their own 36-yard line, and Golden Tate said, "Give me the ball." So Stafford does. Tate picks up a lot of yak here, gets it down to about the 20-yard line. A few plays later, they're at the 12-yard line at 2nd and goal. They're going to run a reverse to Tate. He's doing some jiving in the backfield, and he's going to find his way into the end zone. So don't tell the Lions that they're out of this game. It is now 24-16, but the Bengals are moving the ball again. They're in field goal range at the 24-yard line. This is Jason Jones breaking through for the sack, and he's going to break through for another sack. That's now going to lead to a Cincinnati punt, giving Detroit life. 2:36 to go in the game from their own 20-yard line. Stafford goes to Golden Tate once again, making moves around defenders, getting past the midfield, finally taken down after a 36-yard gain. Detroit's now methodically moved it down to the 16-yard line. Change on the defense, change on the offense. Stafford drops into the shotgun, but it's a direct snap to Joique Bell. He's got space up the middle, held up at the 4, breaks the tackle. He will score the touchdown, but there is 1 minute and 1 second left on the clock. I do believe the AI in this game is going to kick the extra point based off that 1 second. And they are. Oh my goodness, if they scored with 1 minute left, they would have gone for 2. Detroit is going to line up for the extra point. It's not a fake. Matt Prater puts it up and in. So now Detroit must kick this onside. 1:01 to go in the game. The ball is down, and Jermaine Gresham will recover for the Bengals. And in a stunning, heartbreaking fashion, the Lions, victims of 29-year-old AI, lose this game 24-23. At least the game can say it's almost 30 years old. We still see these AI problems in modern football games as well. Well, the Bengals are going to take over the Lions' territory. We're sad to see Detroit go. They have clinched the most wins in this season's Imperialism already, but they're not going to be here in the end. Only 2 teams remaining. These Bengals and the Patriots have a winning record. Could this be the year for the first time that a team with a losing record wins Imperialism? It's time to get another new team on the field. The New York Jets will technically travel to face off with the Giants. It's the Jets who have controlled this game, leading 10-0 from the 6-yard line. Chris Ivory is going to sled dog his way into the end zone, dragging a defender in with him for the touchdown. The Jets get up 17-0. They shut the Giants down in this one, winning handily 31-3. The Giants won each of their last 2 games in thrillers, but were not able to get it done in this one. The Jets will take over their territory, and we're now down to our final 4. It looks like the wheel wants to get the Jets back going again. We're going to need a photo finish on this arrow. It'll just bypass the state of West Virginia. So the Jets are going to have to actually go on the road here and play the Bengals in Cincinnati. The Bengals enter the second half trailing by 2, but they quickly move the ball to the 30. Andy Dalton looks across the field, throws this to Jermaine Gresham. Holy crap, what a catch by Gresham, diving in the back of the end zone, taking the hit, making the score 21-16. Here come the Jets though. They're at their own 35-yard line. Geno Smith has one guy he wants to throw this to. That's Eric Decker. He's done it all for them in the first half, and he's continuing that trend in the second. That was a 41-yard gain. It is now on the 23-yard line. Geno is going to look for Decker, makes the catch down at the 10. They get nothing on first and second down, probably because they didn't throw to Decker. So here on third down, after the play action, he's got to come back for it, but Decker will make the catch and score the touchdown, his second of the game, well over 125 yards receiving. The Jets get back in the lead, 23-21. The Bengals offense is starting to hum though. They're at their own 43-yard line. Dalton looks for Jermaine Gresham again. A much more traditional catch this time. Picks up some good yardage down inside the 10-yard line. That leads to this draw play to Jeremy Hill. That is the longest run of the game for the Bengals in this one. They have just been throwing it whenever they can. But Hill gets the touchdown. It's 28-23. Now the Jets facing a 2nd and 10 in their own territory. Here comes Carlos Dunlap getting the sack, pushing the Jets back, making them punt it. The Bengals get it back just inside midfield. We're in the fourth quarter now. The pass goes to A.J. Green, makes the catch in stride, picks up some good yards. Dalton well over 300 yards passing in this game. On the next play, from the 12-yard line, Andy is going to throw this to the big body tight end Jermaine Gresham. What a game for him as well. The Bengals get out ahead 35-23. They score another one before conceding very late, and they win this game in a shootout 42-29. The Jets had their shot in this one, but the Bengals were too strong. Cincinnati will take over their territory. We're down to 3 teams, and the Bengals are cutting through the other 2, so they have to play in the next game. Will it be against the 7-9 New Orleans Saints, or will it be against the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots, who have not once this season stepped on the field? And it's gonna be the Patriots if they don't expand. They do not. They head into the Bengals territory. That will place the 7-9 New Orleans Saints in the Imperialism title game. Will they be playing the Bengals or will they be playing the Patriots? Let's find out. New England's got a good drive going. They're at the Bengal 36-yard line. Cincinnati backs up the defense. New England makes a change at the line. Tom Brady's going to drop back to pass. He is looking deep for Julian Edelman, but George Iloka, the safety, is there for the interception in the end zone, giving Cincinnati a chance to strike first. They've quickly fallen to 3rd and 13 though. Andy Dalton drops back to pass. Here's the footsteps, starts to take off. He's well short. New England's going to get it back. It's 2nd and 5 at their own 47-yard line. Brady is going to look downfield for Amendola this time. Danny Amendola gets it down to the 14-yard line. New England's got something going here. It's now 2nd and 10. This is going to be a reverse to Brandon LaFell. For some reason, the nameplate still says Brady, but that is indeed Brandon LaFell running it in for the touchdown. Tom Brady's going to get credit for it. I guess glory hogs are going to glory hog. Regardless, it's 7-0. Now Cincy's moved it to the New England 35-yard line. Andy Dalton's looking over his options, tries to squeeze in a pass, but Darrelle Revis is there for the interception. New England can't do anything with it though, so Cincy gets it back. We're now in the second quarter. Dalton looks downfield, fires this pass to Mohamed Sanu, but Darrelle Revis is there once again for his second interception. But once again, New England can't do anything with it. Cincy's defense is stepping up. From their own 44, Andy Dalton's going to look to do something right here. He gets it to A.J. Green. That counts as right. He's down at the 24-yard line. They're now at the 14. A field goal's okay. Touchdown's much better. But Dalton gets the ball knocked loose. That's Chris Jones forcing the fumble. And Chandler Jones picking it up. The third takeaway in this half for the Patriots. This time they've moved the ball. 31 seconds left from the 14-yard line. The diving touchdown catch by Rob Gronkowski. And the Patriots finally cash in on a turnover. It's 14-0. Adam Pac-Man Jones receives the kickoff at the 14. He spins away from a few defenders, breaks a tackle, cuts through the inside. It's a race to the end zone. There's triple zeros on the clock. Will he be able to get into the end zone? They take him down just inside the 1-yard line. For the Bengals, they come out of this empty-handed. We now enter the second half. Jones is going to try this again, getting another pretty good return, crosses midfield, but Rob Ninkovich is there to force the fumble, and the Patriots recover. That's going to lead to yet another touchdown by Rob Gronkowski. 4 takeaways by the Patriots defense and special teams. It's 21-0. It is now 21-7 late on. Since he's got a 3rd and goal at the 2, the give goes to Cedric Pierman, and it's Rob Ninkovich once again forcing the fumble. Pierman in for the injured Jeremy Hill. That's going to do it for the Patriots. 5 defensive and special teams takeaways leads to a 21-7 victory. The Super Bowl champion Patriots may have waited till the very end to get involved, but they went to Cincinnati and won that game, and they're now going to be matched up in the Imperialism title game with the New Orleans Saints. Can the Saints pull off the upset, or will the Patriots back up their Super Bowl championship with an Imperialism championship? We're about to find out. All we need to do is spin the wheel and find out who's going to be attacking. Here is that spin. It's going to be comfortably landing in the Patriots portion of the wheel. This game would be played at the Superdome. Interesting note on the Saints, in their 4 previous Imperialism title game appearances, 3 of them were at home, and they're 0-3. They won their 1 game on the road. They're going to be looking for their 2nd title. The Patriots will be looking for their 4th, but their first one in the same season where they won the Super Bowl. The 2014 Imperialism title game begins now. The Saints get the ball first and they're looking to go on the attack. Out of the shotgun, Drew Brees holds the ball, throws it downfield to Marcus Colston, makes the catch and gets it down to the 21-yard line. A few plays later, they are now at 1st and goal, just inside the 10. This handoff is going to go to Mark Ingram. He cuts inside, gets taken down at the 4-yard line, but he gets knocked out of the game. His backup is Kyrie Robinson. On 3rd and goal, the give goes to Robinson. He leaps in for the touchdown. The Saints draw first blood, taking an early 7-0 lead. Now the injury woes for the Saints continue, this time on defense. Middle linebacker Curtis Lofton out of the game. Starting corner Keenan Lewis out of the game. The Patriots take advantage. They drive it down to the 2-yard line. This reverse goes to Brandon LaFell. This is the real Brandon LaFell this time. The game's going to give him credit for this 2-yard touchdown run. And this offensive shootout potentially is now tied up at 7 apiece. The Saints are going to try to do their part to make this a shootout. They're at the 27-yard line. On to play action. Brees is going to fire to the end zone, but Brandon Browner is there for the interception. That's going to give New England the upper hand, the first takeaway of this game for either team. The Patriots go right to work. Tailback Shane Vereen makes a leaping catch to the 50. On the next play, Julian Edelman catches at the 35, and he's able to run it the rest of the way. Yes, touchdown Patriots. They've now scored 2 in a row, and they take a 14-7 lead. It's on New Orleans to try to get this tied up. They are settled at the 38-yard line of the Patriots. Kenny Stills is going to break late. Drew Brees is going to throw it to him. Catches at the 15 and is able to outrun the defense for the touchdown. The back and forth will continue, but this game is going to stay at 14-13 because the Patriots are able to block the extra point. It is now their turn. They're set up at their own 21-yard line. Direct snap to Shane Vereen. Kenny Vaccaro knocks the ball out, but the Patriots will recover. Might that have been the Saints' chance? New England's going to try to take advantage of their luck here. From their own 42, Julian Edelman is running by himself, makes the catch at the 22-yard line, and takes it in the rest of the way. His second wide open touchdown catch. New England extends out to a 21-13 lead. It's now 21-16 in the third quarter. Field goals aren't enough in this one. The Patriots are going to prove it. The deep pass goes to Edelman. He's covered, but he leaps up and makes the catch. Edelman's already cleared 150 yards in this game. The pitch now goes to Shane Vereen. He's held up, but he breaks a couple tackles and gets in for the score. So the back and forth has swung clearly in New England's favor. It's 28-16. If New Orleans wants to stand a chance, they're going to have to get something here. It's 3rd and 17. Brees is going to look for his top target, Marcus Colston, but it gets knocked away. The Saints defense simply cannot get a stop. From the 15-yard line, this is a perfectly placed pass by Brady to Julian Edelman, his 3rd touchdown of the game. The Patriots streak ahead 35-16. It's all filler points from here. The Patriots win this game 42-30. And with that victory, the Patriots can lay claim to the United States of America. They were imperialism champions in 1976, 2007, and 2008. They now add 2014 to the ledger, and indeed, this is the first time they've won imperialism during the same season where they were Super Bowl champions. For a lot of the Patriots' run, they got virtual buys to the AFC Championship game. Their weak division gave them easy access to a bye week, and their divisional round opponent was often nothing more than a tune-up game. This season in imperialism, they got a literal bye into the practical AFC Championship game, not having to play at all until we got down to 3 teams. But they beat those 2 remaining teams, first the Bengals and then the Saints in the title game, bringing home their 4th championship as a franchise. Additionally, Bill Belichick ties the record for most imperialism titles as a coach. Ironically, he's tied with 2 coaches who never did win a Super Bowl, George Allen and Bud Grant. The Patriots had themselves a stacked roster, as they often do. The offensive stars this season were wide receiver Julian Edelman and tight end Rob Gronkowski, who was equally adept at catching passes and blocking. And speaking of blocking, this offensive line is both without superstar name recognition and without blemish. The tackle combo of Nate Solder and Sebastian Vollmer was particularly stellar. The middle of the defense was anchored, quite literally, by big nose tackle Vince Wilfork, surrounded by talent such as Chandler Jones, Dante Hightower, and Rob Ninkovich, who always seemed to be in the right place for an important takeaway. The secondary, as always, came to play, particularly Darrelle Revis and Devin McCourty. Super Bowl hero Malcolm Butler isn't even listed here, given the roster allotments of this game. We had some close games early on, but this imperialism quickly turned into a lot of one-sided victories, with 6 games in the first half decided by at least 20 points. The second half of games saw more of the same, but we were able to get a couple of nail-biters thrown in as well, including the 2 back-to-back Giants victories and that excellent Bengals-Lions game. In the end, though, it was New England winning the final 2 games, which places them on the top of the season standings, despite 7 different teams winning just as many games and 3 teams winning more, led by the exciting Detroit Lions who notched 5. More than half the league got in on it with 18 different teams in the win column. The overall standings almost see a change at the top. With 2 wins this season, the Pittsburgh Steelers have now tied the Minnesota Vikings with 74. But Minnesota has the higher win percentage based on their 5 Imperialism titles against the Steelers' 1. The Lions have now entered the 60-win club and have powered themselves into 5th place overall. And the Patriots are now on the verge of moving into the first column, sitting just 1 win behind the Chiefs. Thank you so much for making it this far into the video. If you did, I'm guessing you liked it. So please take just another moment to hit that like button. Don't be shy about sharing, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, along with dinging that bell so you don't miss out on the channel's future content. One last look at the New England Patriots, taking their turn to reign over the United States for the 4th time. They will be among the favorites to win it again next season, and if they're able to shy away from all the action again, they just may do so. Be sure to join us for that. Thank you again for watching, and until next time, I hope you have an awesome day.